Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV. We're excited to announce that we also have our own radio channel, so you can watch or listen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Isn't that what you want? Me in your ear, Dr. Jacqueline, Dr. Jacqueline. I'm just kidding. We've got lots of great shows and great content. We've got wonderful co-hosts, and we've got this fabulous platform for Talking Heads. So if you haven't joined us before, welcome. Talking Heads is a show platform for people from around the world who come and share their expertise, their knowledge in their own 30-minute show. Our Talking Head expert presenter today is Keegan Daly. She is not only a talking head here on our platform, she's an elevated listener, which means she listens at a much higher level. She holds a safe space for you to share whatever it is. So you want to make sure you get to know her. When she's not here on our platform, she is a holistic health registered nurse. She's an educator, a counselor, a therapist, a Reiki healing master. She's an author of Reflections of a Seasoned Soul. She's a certified dream builder life coach, and she's a really fabulous person, and she's a sweetheart. Let's welcome her to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacqueline. Thank you very much.
Well, it's all true, and it's lovely to see you. You're always lit up and full of positive energy, so you're glowing, and I'm glad that you're glowing here as we're growing.
Thank you. Thank you. Glowing and growing.
And I want to let our audience know before you begin that I share with you backstage that I actually got a golf ball out of my dad's bag. He's been gone for 10 years and cleaned it up, and I've been running my foot over it to get rid of the tension in my feet. So thank you for another great tip.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, I'm going to go backstage so you can start your show, and I'll be back afterwards. So take it away, Keegan Daly.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be back here again, and welcome all of you to the 11th of my 12 series in really all kinds of ways to help yourself be the very best you that you can be. So today we're going to focus on how you can actually connect with your spirit and your soul through meditation. And meditation, I will explain that in a few minutes. Meditation is something that can be done anywhere, anytime, and I'm going to show you how today. Before we start that, I want to finish three of the stress release techniques that I didn't have time to show you last week. So one of them is really, really effective. And the cool thing about this is it's called adrenal overwhelm correction. So you've heard me talk about how stress starts the adrenal glands pumping out cortisol, and that's to be sustaining a high level of cortisol and adrenaline is not a good thing for your body. It just will wear you down. So in order to correct that overwhelm, when you're in a state of stress, distress, strain, worry, fear, anything that is really bothering you and altering your homeostasis of your physical being, this is a very good thing to do. And like I started to say, the cool thing about it is that it can be utilized to relax you as well as energize you. So it's whatever you need. The body knows. And that's because this works with certain areas of the meridian system, which is in Chinese medicine. So very, very simplistic 3-part technique that I'm going to tell you about and show you now as much as I can. So if you're listening, just notice that I'm going to talk about where to place your hands. You're going to use for the first two, well, actually, for the first one, you're going to use your thumb of one hand and your two fingers, your forefinger and your index finger and your middle finger, because these three together create a neutral polarity. And that's what you want. You don't want to add positive energy. You don't want to add negative energy. You don't want to take away. The body is going to understand neutral. So you're going to find your collarbones and then come down about an inch, and you'll find in between your collarbones and your first rib, there's little indentation, little soft spots, and they could be sore. So you're going to put one thumb in one side and two fingers in the other side, and the other hand you're going to put on your abdomen. So then all you're going to do is breathe, and for 15 seconds, now you can count to 15 slowly in your mind. I count to 30 just because that's what I do. 30 seconds. And we always want to do both sides of the body. Whatever you're doing with one side of your body, you will need to do with the other side of your body so you stay balanced. So you're just going to lightly rub these, they're called the K27 points. And they are in the kidney, they connect with the kidney meridian. So in Chinese medicine, which is very, very old, tens of thousands of years old, and very, very helpful and supportive to the body and mind and spirit and emotions, you're just going to rub these for 15 to 30 seconds, however long you want. And you don't have to rub hard, just rub gently as you're counting in your mind and you're breathing. Remember to breathe, okay? And then you're going to switch hands. So we're going to use one hand and the other. Doesn't matter which hand you start with. And you're going to do the same thing. And the reason this is so effective is because in Chinese medicine, the kidneys have to do with fear and they have to do with distress. That energy can really affect the kidneys in a very non constructive way, in a very destructive way, actually. So this helps to support the kidneys and help your body to remember to relax and calm down. Or if you're really very tired and worn out, it will help your kidneys to function more effectively so that you're energized. So that's step one. Now, step two is, before I show you step two, there is an energy meridian called the governing meridian that runs from the base of your spine, the coccyx bone, up your back in this way, around to your top lip. That energy's meridian is supposed to run up, up, up and around to your top lip. So we're going to stimulate that energy meridian and balance it, as we're also going to do at the same time stimulating the central meridian, which runs from your pubic bone up to your bottom lip. So the way you do that is to put one finger under your bottom lip, one finger over your top lip, okay, and your other hand is going to go on your abdomen, and you just rub gently. Again, 15 to 30 seconds, however long you want to. Like I said, I just always count to 30, just because I do. And then after you do that timing, then you switch hands, always switching hands. So when you think about it, this takes no longer than a minute and a half. If you're doing 30 seconds, it's a minute and a half, and everybody has a minute and a half. I do this before I get out of bed in the morning, actually. And it just always helps to set my wonderful tone for the day. Okay, so that's part two. And that aligns the governing meridian coming up in the proper way over to your top lip, and the central meridian coming from the pubic bone, or as you might know about the chakras, that's where the first chakra is located. And that's the energy centers that we didn't talk very much about. That's another whole class. And then up, it's supposed to come up from your pubic bone area to your bottom lip. Okay, so up and up and back. The third part of this exercise called the adrenal overwhelm correction, which comes from a discipline that I learned a very long time ago and have been certified in forever, it seems, called one brain stress diffusion or one brain integration. And it's really a wonderful technique. There's so much to it. This is just one simple little technique from that one brain integration. So the third part is, and I can't show it to you really, but because I'd have to stand up and then I think I would disappear on this computer. So it's right at the coccyx bone area. You're going to use all four fingers. So four fingers of one hand actually gives you that neutral polarity that the other two, uh, these two fingers and then these three fingers give you. And you always want that neutral polarity. And you're just going to rub that coccyx bone again with your other hand on your abdomen. And then you do that I do it for 30 seconds. Breathing, always remember to breathe. And then you switch hands. And then you do that with the other hand. And that really, that stimulates that energy center called the base or root chakra, which really is the foundation of the energy system of your body. It aligns with all of your endocrine system. And I don't have a chance to go into that today because it's quite involved. However, you can trust that there's been a ton of research done. I've studied the chakra system in depth, and I do believe that there is someone who gave a series on the chakras a while ago on Talking Heads, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, just know that this three-part exercise is very, very helpful. Again, to start your day, to get you through the day. I often do it in the middle of the day since life seems to be very, very busy and full for me, which I'm appreciative of and grateful for. And yet, I need to move at a pace that's not going to exhaust me, which I've been in an exhaustive pace way too often in my life. So I make sure I do this every day to set the tone of my day, to keep me focused, to keep me strong, to keep me um, relaxed in all the busyness of my life. So I offer that to you. Now, another thing to do is, especially if you're exercising a lot or you're very busy, is a technique called polarized balanced breathing. And this clears out the lactic acid that gets stored in your muscles when you're tight and tense and you are exercising and you don't have a chance to really balance out the rest of your day. And that's might sound a little contradictory because exercise is always very helpful for you. However, there's always, always find somebody that's doing exercising really improperly and tensing their body too much while they do exercising. So this helps you and it helps to relax you as well. So what you do is put your thumb, I use my thumb, on one nostril. You close off one nostril, okay, and put your hand always on your abdomen, your belly. Okay, that's called the dantian, which is the center part of your physical body, really. And then you just breathe in the other nostril that's open. And then you breathe out the nostril that was just open. You're going to breathe that out. So it's opposite. So you close off one nostril. I'm closing off my right nostril. I'm breathing in with my left nostril. And I'm putting my tongue to the roof of my mouth while I'm breathing in. And then the nostril that I just breathed in with, I'm going to breathe out the opposite nostril with my tongue down at the bottom of behind my teeth. And you do that 3 times so that really clears that lactic acid from your muscles and it does help your body to balance and relax itself. It's called polarized balanced breathing. So we do have poles, negative, positive polarities in our system, and we need to balance those all the time. If you have, like I talked one time a couple weeks ago about negative ions, which are confusing to some people because we're always talking about, being positive. But the negative ions are important to come into your body. And you get those if you remember me talking about nature. Nature is filled with negative ions, water, bodies of water that are clean, not polluted. But even the ocean, even though that's polluted to some degree, in some places a lot. However, the energy of the ocean, the energy of water, which is really representative of spirit, will hold those negative ions that you can breathe in. And certainly, anything in nature, trees and bushes and plants, and actually the ground, the earth, walking around in bare feet on the earth is very helpful because you have those energy centers in the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands, which can absorb those negative ions. So polarized balanced breathing is associated with that, and it's very helpful. Again, you breathe in one nostril, and while your tongue is up on on the roof of your mouth, and then you breathe out the other nostril with your tongue down against the bottom teeth, and then you repeat that. So you do that 3 times on each side. And then the third one I wanted to do before I talk about meditation is this is really, really simplistic, but it's very, very helpful. So this is crossing your hands over your heart center. So even though your heart is on the left hand side, really, you want to use the chakra area of your heart center. So it can be in the center, one hand and your other hand over top. It doesn't matter which hand you start with. Take a breath and you say in your mind or out loud, I completely love and accept myself with all my strengths and all my vulnerabilities. Take another breath and then you switch hands and you do it again. Breathing in and saying, I completely love and accept myself with all my strengths and all my vulnerabilities. Take a breath, and one more time, you flip your hands and saying a third time. And I always close my eyes when I do this. This brings me more to center. I completely love and accept myself with all my strengths and all my vulnerabilities. You take a breath, and then you can let go of your hands. So this is particularly useful when you're feeling anxious about something, or you're feeling not so confident, or you're feeling worried about something, or you're putting yourself down, which is never a really good thing. You can, you can talk about your vulnerabilities or your, things like I'm always saying, my forte is not this computer. However, I'm learning. I'm willing to learn. I don't think I'll ever be an expert, but I'll get by well enough, and people are around to help me. So, however, there are other things that I excel in. So it's important for you to know inside yourself what you're not so good at and make that okay. If you're interested, you can always learn. If you're not interested and it's not really important to your lifestyle or your business or your work, then just make that okay. Okay. And focus on your strengths. Okay. And if you're vulnerable to feeling hurt by whatever someone says, you're loving and accepting yourself in spite of that. And yet, there are ways I can talk to you another time about how you can utilize feeling hurt, feeling angry, feeling despair, feeling disappointed, feeling angry, feeling upset, um, and how you can learn more about yourself when you're having those feelings. What Every single challenge has a gift, and every challenge brings that gift to you. And it brings that gift to you, particularly when you settle yourself to meditate. So we'll spend the next few minutes talking about meditation and how you can do that in ways that are very simplistic. When I first started to meditate, oh my gosh, back in the 70s, I thought I had to sit on the floor, which I'm not comfortable doing, never was, probably won't be in this lifetime. Sit on the floor with my back straight and my legs crossed, like an Indian fashion. I couldn't even do that as a kid. So it was uncomfortable for me. And then I learned that meditation really isn't about how you sit, it is about getting in touch with your inner self. So, connecting meditation is connecting your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body with your spiritual core. Remember, I said that in the very beginning of the 12 weeks program that I'm doing. Your spiritual core is your center. That's where your answers are. That's where your life plan is. That's where your creativity is. That's where your connection with your creator is. That's where your resources are in your spirit soul area, that part of yourself that is always alive, even after you die, always. And because I had that profound near death experience in 1988, which I detail in my book, Reflections of a Seasoned Soul, I know for positively, absolutely, that I will continue living, as will everyone. And it was just a phenomenal journey, phenomenal, phenomenal journey. So, that part of us, we don't have to wait until we die to get answers. We can go into a quiet place. That's what meditation needs, is a quiet place. You can be out in nature. You can be walking, all right? And oftentimes I do a walking meditation in nature without any headphones on. I don't want to be listening to a program, or I don't want to be listening to, you know, oldies music that I love, but not during meditation. If I'm at home, I'm going to finish that. When I'm outside, I can hear the sounds of the birds. I can hear the sounds of animals. I can hear the sounds of cars and people. However, meditation is not focusing on those sounds. It is being mindful of them and yet continuing to focus on your breathing, maybe a mantra, and a mantra could be simply a one word: love. It can be peace, it can be joy, it can be unity, it can be harmony, it can be kindness, it can be compassion, it can be anything you want that makes you feel good and feel connected to all of your strengths, that makes you feel connected to that spiritual part of you that is always connected with the God source, the creative source, universal spirit. You can also sit in a quiet room. I used to, when my children were small, I tell them I'm going to go meditate now, so please don't bother me for the next 20 minutes, okay? And they'd be standing outside the door. Don't bother mommy. She's meditating. Don't bother. Of course, I could hear all that. So, well, I want to tell her something. Well, you have to wait. I mean, it just was really funny. And yet, I was able to bring myself back to the center. I taught meditation for years and years and years. It was called the Art of Relaxation and Meditation. So you can utilize. I actually created a meditation tape in the 80s that I gave to my students. You can have music as long as it is music that is of a Baroque beat. So the Baroque music is very close to your heartbeat, and a normal heartbeat that's relaxing and even and clear and strong. So Baroque music for me, the most favorite of all time for me is Papa Bell's Canon in D. It is the most beautiful music in the world to me. So if I'm going to utilize music, I utilize Pachelbel's canon indeed. There are many different versions of it, and there are particular ones that I enjoy the most. But there are also other Baroque musics. There are meditation music on TV sometimes. If you have a certain music selection on your television, you can just turn that on. But I would recommend that you put a black cloth over your TV so you're not looking at the screen, you're closing your eyes, you're taking a deep breath, and you're focusing on your breath. And while you're aware of maybe somebody, like right now, somebody's outside my room here running their lawnmower. Okay, that's fine. I'm aware of it. The thing is, I'm not paying attention to it. And that's meditation, where you are aware of what's going on around you. You're not giving it attention. You're coming back to your breath. You're opening your mind to connect with your spirit. You're opening your heart. You're opening your emotional self to connect with your spirit, to be still. And I love the saying. I have actually it hanging in my living room on a beautiful, beautiful piece of cloth, and it says from the Bible, "Be still and know that I am God." And what that means to me is that God, universe, creator, being, oneness, whatever you call that energy that is our creator, is within you always and all the time, and you're connecting with that. So be still and connect with that. And know that you are loved at every single moment. And know that when you present in meditation time the need to have an answer to something, you can say, I need, you can actually say thank you. Instead of saying, please give me, you can say thank you, since the answer is already there inside of you. It just hasn't sprung up yet to your mind. And it may not that day, but if you practice meditation on a daily basis, even for 10 minutes, that message will come to you. And the message is the part of the solution that you need now. So thank you for giving me in my mind clarity and the part of the solution to this situation that I need now. And be open to receiving that. And that part of that solution could come from a chapter in a book or a sentence in a book or the book itself, or it could come from something you hear someone else say, or it could come from, nature itself. Just little pieces of information. That's why it's important to be present in every single moment. Be present, be aware, be alert, be calm, and know that when you're still, you are able to hear that voice. You are able to know what your soul wants you to know, what your spirit already knows. And when you get all the distractions out of the way in your 10-minute or 20-minute or 30-minute meditation, without paying attention to, your legs being crossed, just make sure your spine is straight, only because your spine and your brain are connected, of course, and then the energy can flow more freely up those meridian channels. So thank you. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you next week for our final part 12 of this 12-part series. And with that part, we're going to talk about, let's see, we're going to talk about the values and expressions of kindness, compassion, love, respect, forgiveness, and gratitude. Thank you so much, and know that you are very special, very loved, and important in the fabric of our world.
Beautiful, Jean, as always.
Thank you.
Let me put up your information. I love all of these suggestions that you give that we can actually do right away, and we don't have to go anywhere, pay anyone. And I actually was doing this through a lot of what you shared. So golf ball and this, producing.
Yeah, good.
So Thank you so much. I'm going to spotlight you. And if you could give out your contact information for people who cannot read the banner, or maybe they're joining us for the first time or they're on the radio.
Yes. Thank you. I still don't have my website up and running, so the best way to get in touch with me right now is to go to my Comcast email, which is jlifespirit at comcast.net. jlifespirit at comcast.net. You can find my book, Reflections of a Seasoned Soul, on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, on quite a few other places online. It is not in bookstores because I self-published it, so it is print on demand, and it tells the story of my journey to get to where I am today, even though way back then in the 70s when I began, it was considered a cult, and it was considered not acceptable at all where I lived. So anyway, I appreciate you being here, and I will look forward to seeing you next week, or look forward to having you hear me next week. So thank you so much.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate it. And I will look forward to seeing you next week and then finding out what's up with Jean and Talking Heads and some other interesting topics that you might be bringing to the platform that we all need to hear about.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye.
Lots of things to share.
I know. You could do your whole show all week long with all the things that you have to share. And it's exciting. I love it. That just shows all that you've accomplished and learned in your life, Jean. So thank you for giving back and helping others.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Please do reach out to Jean. She is the real deal and she can help you. So I'm going to put up her information again. Please buy her book. This is someone you want to get to know. You can reach out to her on LinkedIn. You can find her on Facebook. Make an effort to expand your world and include this woman in it. Thank you so much. All right, we are signing off right now for our next Talking Head series. So do stay wherever you are. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, please click subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of our family. All right, we'll be back literally in minutes. Thanks again, Jean. Thanks, everybody.